Falcon the Big Game Hunter, and welcome. This is Career Coach Office Hours, where I spend time twice weekly, Tuesdays at noon, Fridays at 9 a.m. Eastern, barring some unforeseen circumstance, answering questions from people about job search, hiring more effectively, managing and leading, resolving workplace related issues, stuff along those lines. If something comes to mind and you're watching this after I've been live, my next show is going to be on Friday, September 10th at 9 a.m. You can send your question to me in advance at thebiggamehunter@gmail.com. In the subject line, just put the phrase office hours. This way I know what it's about. I'll try and answer the question before and use it during the show as well. But I'm happy to help. In addition, if you're watching this now live, as you can see in the chat, put your question in the chat. I'll try and get to it today and try and give you an opportunity to have it resolved, okay? Now, I'll start by saying I worked in recruiting for more than 40 years, filled more than 1,200 full-time positions plus consulting assignments. I've dealt with a lot of tactical issues related to finding work. Conversely, I work with a lot of my clients to help them hire more effectively, which is why I address those issues. I also have an MSW where I spent a lot of time working with organizations, helping people manage better, lead better, and resolve workplace-related issues. That's why I address those topics on this show. You can also find a lot in my blog, which is located at thebiggamehunter.us. You can go to the blog and go exploring. I've got more than 10,000 posts there at this point that will help you in all these categories. You can also subscribe to my podcast, No BS Job Search Advice Radio, which 5 days a week comes out with episodes designed to help you with job hunting. And you can also go to my YouTube channel at jobsearchtv.com. There's a ton there too. I believe there's over 7,000 videos that are up on the site. Now, let me go to the list of questions I have. Oh, I didn't bring it back up. Bear with me for just 1 second. It's going to take me a moment to locate all of this. I have questions. No, that's not it. I apologize. It's like I'm not ready because I'm not. I was on a session with someone previously, and there were a number of folks on, and I forgot I have to bring this stuff up, and I have to locate where I have these questions saved. So I apologize. I'm stalling for time. Let's see now. No, that's not it. And I'm very sorry. It's just going to take a couple minutes. I'm sorry, this is just boring stuff, and this happens sometimes. Let's see if it's in here. Yes. No, is that it? I think I've addressed some of these before. Let me just check one other place. If I've done this before, I apologize. I've got a whole bunch of stuff here. And by the way, is it just me, or are people trying to spoof me with all these emails saying that my account has gotten dinged for a charge, and they're expecting me to log on and go, no, reverse the charges? I'm getting a lot of those these days. So I just saw another one come through, and it's bizarre to me that this is what people think works. Bear with me just one more second. I'm just going to check in another place. And again, I'm sorry. Forgive me. Okay, I'm going to go back to that first group of questions. I don't believe they're the ones that I had lined up for today. But let's work with Um, these, okay? Should I volunteer that I'm interviewing with another company during an interview? And the answer is, if you're on a first interview, no, not at all. Don't do that. All that happens is from their standpoint, they start to wonder whether you're really interested in them. And that's not really going to serve you. What will serve you is further on when you're in a situation where they're asking you questions, like they're close to an offer and they want to find out, so are you close to anything these days? Um, from that point of view, it works. Otherwise, it really doesn't. Um, at the time of an offer where you say, I'm on a third interview with another firm, and it looks like they're interested, but I don't have an offer yet. If they ask you what you're looking for, then you can turn around and say, you know, I've been talking with this firm about this amount of money. And thus, if you decide I'm the right person for you, and this certainly seems like a great opportunity to me, I'm just going to ask you to make your strongest offer. And what that does is makes them aware that they're competing, and thus they really, if they want to hire you, well, it's a situation where it's competitive and they're going to push the number up as high as they can. So under those circumstances, it makes sense. Otherwise, it really doesn't. Let's see now. Question number 2. This one I know I've covered, so let me skip over that. This person works for a government subcontractor. They've been relieved of their, I know I've covered that one. My apologies. Is it a bad idea to give a work sample to interviewers even though they don't ask for it? Work sample is an interesting choice of terms because for some people that work sample could be a portfolio. Portfolios, if you're in a field where they want to talk, it's a visual field, it's a creative field. Your portfolio is really what you're selling. And thus, fundamentally, they should see it and you should offer it to them so that they get a sense of what you've done previously. So normally I did recruiting, there were people who walked in with run books of their programs and they wanted me to look at their run book of what they had done. And frankly, it was awful. It was torture for me. And don't do stuff like that. All that happens is that people wind up getting tuned out to you and they stop paying attention. And the result winds up that once they're not paying attention, they really don't care about what you've done. They don't really want to know all this stuff. They want to ask their questions and evaluate and assess. And when all is said and done, what you're doing is losing their attention. And that doesn't serve you. So is it a bad idea to give a work sample? If it's stuff like a coding run book, yeah, these things are enormous. If it's a flow chart, you're presenting, wait for them to talk about you presenting at a whiteboard. If it's something creative and you're walking in with your iPad and you're logging into a website where your portfolio lives, by all means, hand them the iPad and let them scroll through it and ask questions. And all you do is politely ask, would you like to see my portfolio? It's really that simple. And from there, what you're able to do is, Helena, thank you. So what you're able to do is engage in conversation with them about what you've done and thus be able to see some of the things that they're curious about, so you can speak to those items as well. When all is said and done, what you really want to do is have a conversation going. And in that conversation, give them an opportunity to address their interests, concerns, ideas, all that kind of stuff that allows you to stand out from other people. Let's see now. I'm going to take one more look to see if I can find this. Bear with me, because I apologize for torturing you folks today with this, but I can't find it for some reason. I worked on this morning. I had a list of questions from people, and I'm just not able to locate them. So one more time, bear with me. I'm not going to put you through misery. I just want to see if I can find the original questions from folks, because I want to speak to those. It's really that simple. One second. And otherwise, I'm going to apologize and end the show early and maybe come on later on. But I'm just not locating it. I apologize. See if it's buried here. And I can't locate it. I'll try and do it and come back a little bit later and do the show again. I hope the few questions I was able to locate and answer were helpful to you. If not, I apologize. I made a mistake. In the meantime, I hope you have a terrific day. And more importantly, come back on Friday, and hope you're great. Take care.